Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, everybody. Sorry that well, normally one would think that I would start at 1 p.m., but, PST, but, yeah, it's, it's closer to 2 p.m. at this point. Um, Needed to take care of some, uh, real life, uh, it typically happens on these Fridays. I have to deal with a lot, although, uh, just found out that there's nothing more in the unemployment, so there's really no need for me to keep on applying for unemployment when there's nothing left there. So that's it. I got the rest of my savings and what I got from unemployment. Now that will keep me for a while, but that's it. That's all I got. Um, so I'm hoping for work. Um, Otherwise, I'm gonna have to, or at least I'm hoping for some form of software development job here soon, or I'm gonna be in trouble. Uh, I'm gonna have to just go applying for anything, even though I really don't have any skills for anything else, really. I mean, I'll take a McDonald's job if I have to in order to survive. I just don't really want to here in where I live because it's terrible. I actually rejected a McDonald's job, you know, before because um, the job there uh, up front told me that not only would I have to pay for the uniform that they were going to be giving me, but I would also have to personally pay for the food handling license in order to serve food from McDonald's, who's already making billions of dollars per day anyway. Right. So I kind of reject that. So it was I was not willing to. Uh, I, I I put out the I factored in the cost of the food handling license, and um I would have had to have paid like half a day's paycheck to get the food handling license. 4 hours of basically slave labor. No, I I can't accept that. So um, I'm just I'm getting so frustrated sometimes. And I'm sorry that you guys are all here and hearing all this, but I mean, pardon me, I need to blow my nose here real quick. Hey there, Disappear. How's it going? Thank you for stopping on by and chatting with me. Appreciate it. Um, Sorry, it's just um, I noticed the fact that my unemployment is exhausted. I don't have anything more coming to me in unemployment, so that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got left. That's what I have left in terms of a safety net for me. Um, I just get so frustrated at it all, and it's kind of upsetting. Um, I mean, I don't know what else to do, to be honest. Um, I apply for all these jobs and I don't get a single call back from them. Um, I've tried like reaching out to some of my past coworkers, um, and asked them for help, and nothing gets done there, or no help there at all. Um, so um, I'm thankful that I still can do this at least. Otherwise, I'd be really in trouble. Sorry, I took a mental hit today, obviously. Um, Realizing that, hey, no more unemployment, so that's it. Um, like I said, I still have a lot of it like stored away, so it's not like I'm gonna be like out on the street tomorrow or something like that. So that's don't worry about that. Okay. Um, but it's not like I'm in that trouble. Uh, but uh, yeah. Uh, you know, I need to find myself a job here pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna not gonna be able to pay rent to stay here, stay located where I'm located at. And unfortunately, I'm just kind of treading water right at this point in time, and not not exactly a fun feeling to have. So I apologize for those of you that might be watching right at this moment in time, and obviously, you know, there isn't much that you guys can do, and I understand that. Um, it just gets so frustrating when you see some people that are making millions, you know, making literal millions, and they could change the life of so many people. I mentioned it the other day that it's like, um, I was looking at Jeff Bezos there. He was, they were saying that he makes 34 million a day. I'm like, going great. That could pay the salary of 800 employees for the year. It's just, it's frustrating, man. You know, no, I mean, I get it. There are some people out there that are trying to do some good out there, and I appreciate it. But it also feels like there's so much bad, so much, um, so much me that there's not enough us. Um, I mean, okay, take for example, um, my team robot, right? I designed Team Robot in the hopes that, hey, you apply for Team Robot. I created all these different various volunteer subgroups in the hopes of like just trying to help out everybody that's on in Team Robot, right? The idea is for everybody to kind of work together to for the common goal of just trying to boost everybody up, help everybody. Okay. Um, I appreciate um, the pay it forward mindset. The ability to help. If you have the resources to help out another person, even if it's just a matter of like, hey, I have a couple minutes to spend. I'm going to um, I'm going to share this person's video around. That, just doing something simple like that is, you know, trying to get, more people to be aware, for example, right? Um, so the idea of Team Robot was the idea that I could develop a group that is willing to kind of help others out, be a helping hand for others, you know. No, and don't get me wrong, I could use a helping hand myself from time to time, but it's the 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 team itself is supposed to be everybody helping each other out to kind of grow. Um, but I don't know, it turns people off. Some maybe they just don't believe what I'm trying to go for on that. And so the last application that I got was from Blackheart. He looked at it, he believed in it, and um he applied. That was over a year ago, October 5th, 2022. And the one prior to that was back in December 31st, 2021 with Kermit. I'm not getting enough applications there. And it's a little frustrating. That's all. Um, I mean, what am I gonna have to do? What what do I do to change this? To change this course that I'm on? You know, I keep on getting derailed every single time. I get a job. I stay there for a year. I think that I'm doing a decent job, for them to kind of hold on to me. I'm not causing any kind of problems or drama or anything along those lines, and I get let off. Now, when I worked for GLI, I don't, I got frustrated there, so I didn't really care about that. But in all the programming jobs that I've had, I never wanted to leave. It was never my personal choice on that. I don't know. It's it I don't know. I wish I could. I wish I can just snap my fingers and a lot of good things happened. I know, but um, I'm sorry to do this there, folks. It's just like I said, I got hit mentally again. It's just a rough day. That's all. Can't be can't be happy all the time, as much as I'd like to try. Um, I try to put on a brave face for you all, and I try to um, show that hey, I'm here. I'm trying to push forward, but it can be tough. So, now don't get me wrong. I know. I still got a roof over my head, and that's better than some. You know, I still have a savings, and that's better than some. Um, and if necessary, I can always try to see about going back to my brother if worse comes to worse. I can always see about trying to go and live off a couch if I need to. I mean, there are people that would, you know, that would put me up. I still have friends out there. Um, but that's not living. That's not something that I want to consider. You know, that's not, you know, okay. Merry Christmas, right? Oh boy. What also sucks is the fact that I hear on the news that, more people are getting laid off today. Or laid off, you know, uh, um, uh, comprehensive list of 2023 tech layoffs, right? Tech industry has seen more than 240,000 jobs lost in 2023. Massive workforce reductions were driven by the biggest names like in tech like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Yahoo, Meta, and Zoom. Yeah, AT&T was also one that did layoffs at the very beginning of the year as well. So, what's stupid about this is the fact that it's like a lot of these people that they're laying off could potentially have really good ideas, you know. They could be helping out the overall work, you know. And Amazon reported laying off several hundred employees in their Alexa division in its freshly launched artificial general intelligence team. Amazon. Yeah, like, okay, here. Um, Amazon yearly profit. Amazon gross profit for the 12 months ending September 30th, 2023 was $256 billion. Not million, billion. Greed is destroying this country. Greed is destroying all the countries. There's a few people that are getting richer and richer and richer, and they're not even looking at those of us down here at the bottom. And if it keeps on going in this trend, then we're going to see something snap. We're going to see people snap. Believe me, um, when you push the poor up against the wall, when you give them moldy bread, they're going to get angry. It's happened in the past and it'll happen again. And those that are getting billions of dollars in earnings, they better be careful because there's a lot more poor than there are rich. And believe you me, the police aren't going to want to protect them. They might try, maybe some of them, but it's not going to be enough. You know, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse if they don't change. But they're not, why would they listen to me? You know, history is repeating itself again, and people just don't seem to fucking understand. I don't know. I don't know what I can do. I, I don't have any. I don't have any kind of influence or anything along those lines. Um, I'm a voice in the sea. I want to do more. You know, it'd be nice to be able to do more. Um, I'd like to be able to support everybody that I can. You know, but I mean, I have to also support myself as well. So it's like, I there was I forget his name, but um, it was like it was like 3 years ago or something like that. I had this conversation with apparently a CEO of a company, and we kind of got into an argument and stuff like that because he was talking about how the profits that he was getting, he would store away for like a rainy day. He would, and I was like going, okay, sure, that's understandable, that's reasonable, understandable about that. You know, my problem isn't with guys like you. You know, you aren't the major problem because you're willing to actually hire additional employees. You're willing to pay them a decent wage, and you're right. If you don't have like if it's not a public company, if it's more of a private company, then yeah, you know, uh, if your business turns sour, then you're gonna have to hold up the costs. You know, I got that. I understood that. But at these other people that are getting billions, billions of dollars of profit, and those are the people that I have a problem with because you know, like I'm barely living off of like 15K a year. You know, my phone plan is $15 a month. I'm paying for like 1/3 of the internet that, I use. I'm, you know, my landlord, he could bump up the rent for the room because, the rent that I pay apparently is under the norm right at this moment in time. So, not to say that the norm's that great anyway, but um, it's not like I'm damaging his walls or anything along those lines. So it's, um, so I'm trying to be a decent roommate, which he appreciates. But still, it's a renting a room. It's not something that like I have my own place right at this moment in time. Like $1 million would change a lot of my problems. You know, like if I can like um you know uh Like, a simple $1 million would just, get me out of this situation, allow for me to get my own place. Um, and then I can just kind of live off of it for whoever, how, you know, unknown amount of years, you know, while I continue looking for work. Oh yeah, I'd still work, you know, you know. But I mean, it's like, and you hear about these single individuals that are making millions a second, and it's disgusting. Pisses me off. Um, they can, all they have to do is just put a little bit of that profit that they get back into the workforce. Why is Amazon laying off people when it's getting billions in profit? Why? What's the purpose of it? You know, it makes no sense. I swear, you know, the idiots that are up in the board of directors in all these businesses, they're missing the point. The more workers you have out there making a decent wage, the more that they can purchase. The more that they can purchase, the stronger their economy. The stronger their economy, the um, more overall wealth you get. You know, but they don't seem to get that. You lay off all these people right before Christmas. Congratulations. You are now going to have like the worst Christmas ever because now everybody's going to not consider buying anything during Christmas. Christmas is typically one of those seasons where you have like the best, you know, um, you know, uh, people like to go out and purchase a lot of gifts during Christmas. And if you remove all these jobs, guess what? They're not going to go out and purchase presents. They're going to be worrying about trying to find their next job. They're going to be worrying about their next paycheck. You know, they're going to tighten up that belt even more. And guess what? That's going to hurt the businesses, which is going to hurt them in the long run as well. Guess what? Amazon's going to hurt more if they keep on cutting like that. They don't seem to get it. The more people you have out there working, the more people that you have and that are out there, you know, making a really good wage. Guess what? They're going to want to go out and purchase more cars. Hey, guess what? They're going to want to go out and purchase more homes. They're going to want to go out and purchase, TVs and electronics and computers and video games and all that kind of jazz. And it's like, uh, they're these execs are shooting themselves in the foot and they don't seem to realize it. Uh, Okay. Um, sorry. It's been a frustrating day. Um, make sure that Warframe is at least up to date. What the heck? This game has native support. What the fuck is this? Okay. Steam, what are you doing here? What? Um. Okay. Oh, right. There was a new update for Warframe. I forgot about that. Well, it's a good thing that I started that early, or started it now at least, instead of like going, oh, hey, wait, I need to, time for me to start up Warframe. Um, I'm sorry for venting there, folks. It's just, it's frustrating. Um, when I see so much greed out there in the world, and all I'm trying to do is get a small slice to survive. That's it. You know. Well, not even to survive, to live. You know. Um, I'm surviving, but some people would probably not consider this living. That's that's for sure. Um, you know, Blackheart's having his own difficulties as well. I just applied for this one position, the game development position today. Um, and they were like going, "Hey, you know, give us some, give us a little bit of details about yourself." And I'm like going, "Okay, well, first off, got my bachelor's in computer science, got a minor in mathematics, got a minor in game design and development. You know, currently stream daily. Stream coding and games, and currently studying, Pega certification and Unreal Engine with my friend Blackheart. It's like he was also looking for a job. I put that in as well. You know. So would really be nice is if I get a call back from them. That would be nice. You know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, mhm. Yeah. Um, yeah, so it's there are so many things that I kind of wish that I could just kind of say, hey, you know, can I change the timeline around a little bit? Can I have this happen? Can I have that happen? Can I do this? Can I do that? You know, be nice. Be my own, be my own god, I guess. There's just some things that I wish were different. That's all. And obviously, a lot of people would probably follow suit. They were like, oh yeah, right there with you, Jim. You know, um, I will continue to try to push forward there, folks. I know, it, uh, I know that you guys don't really like seeing me this way. I get it, but, um, let's face it. Like I mentioned before, I'm not exactly in the best places, and I'm gonna have days like this where everything builds up to a point where it's rough. You know, um, I can try to be happy as much as I can, but eventually it gets to a point where real life comes down on you hard sometimes. Um, I do what I can. Um, I'm just hoping for something better to come around. Just for something to happen, that would be fantastic. You know, um, you know, Okay. Warframe is currently doing a optimizing at this point in time, um, so once it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down this particular video, or this particular recording, I should say, and start up a brand new one. Because obviously this is me kind of doing a lot of dumping of issues on you all, and I understand. That's not exactly a great way to start out a video. So I get it. Um, so at least for the Warframe video, they won't get hit by um, problems that I'm dealing with in real life. Um, but we'll get started with Warframe here in a little bit. Um, I'm not planning on doing any of the new content, just to let you guys know. Um, because normally whenever anything new comes out, it's always bug as hell when it comes to Warframe. So I'd rather let it go through a couple hot fixes before I do anything with the new content. So just bear that in mind. Um, so most likely I'm just going to be kind of focusing on the resurgence and the Nightwave and looking for the next weapons. Maybe actually, um, well, I'll need to see what Blackheart has in mind. What he might be willing to do. Um, but I wouldn't mind trying to work towards um, one of the work towards one of the uh, like Warframes and the bounty missions, like gear or something like that. I also forgot to watch the game rewards. Normally I don't really give a damn about it, so I don't really want to watch it. But because I didn't watch it, I didn't have a chance to get that free Warframe that they were offering during it, so don't have that. So missed that opportunity. I forget exactly was the Game Awards coming out? When the Game Awards come out? Um, let's see, 2023 Game Awards. Um, last week on Thursday. Yeah. Um, wasn't I like didn't I like come down with the gold like right then and there? Was it didn't that happen? Hold on, let me double check. Um, right, I was having a lot of restless nights and stuff like that, so that was right before I got my cold on the 7th. So I was not in the right mindset as it was anyway. So it's not surprising that I missed it. Um, so yeah, I still have to collect that Warframe as well. Um, let's see. Warframe Game Awards. Free Warframe. Yeah, Sevagoth. So I missed that. And I think it was, you know, you had to watch it live, so yeah, I don't think even like like if I go to the Game Awards, right now, like if I go to their um, you know, wait, did they not hold on to? They don't even hold on to the full on broadcast of the Game Awards? That's weird. Hmm. Um, um, yeah, so I can't, I kind of didn't necessarily, here I was thinking, maybe I could cheese it a little bit, watch the Game Awards for 30 minutes after, you know, 1 week after, and there you go, 30 minutes, yay, get Sevagoth, yay. No, I figured that that's something that they kind of already uh, accounted for. So, um, but to be honest, really, I don't really have any interest in these award shows either. I don't really like, I don't really like watching them. Um, you know, no, don't get me wrong. I will support and and praise the devs that are doing a bang up job, right? But here's the thing. Here's here's my problem with these award shows for the most part, or these any kind of like industry. Whenever you have awards, right? Um, first off, um, in these award shows, you have a winner, and then you have everybody else that doesn't get that first place trophy, right? Uh, it promotes more competition and stuff like that. And okay, so yeah, competition is good in a certain fashion, but I mean, you listen to everybody's like commentary after the fact, and it's like, oh my God, why did this game win over that game? I mean, the sheer amount of posts that I saw afterwards talking about, oh my God, why did Baldur's Gate 3 win when Spider-Man was so much better, or vice versa, or whatever. And it's like, you don't get, you don't, you have a lot of people that just get upset with them, you know, and um, and at the same time, it's like, okay, you have all these games that are being shown as game of the year, but you know, there might be some games that might deserve a little bit more recognition. Like, don't get me, no, okay, don't get me wrong, okay. The amount of work, the amount of manpower and stuff like that that goes into some of those games. Like, okay, let me pull up the list here again. 2023 Game of the Year. Um, so Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, right? Um, let's see. So Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario Bros. Wonder was released like 2 months prior to the Game Awards. October 20th, 2023. Um, it's like, you know, so Super Mario Brothers Wonder beat out other games in that top spot. Um, let me see about, others um that were like maybe released this year. Let's see. Hold on. 2023 game list. Um, okay. Um, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Why wasn't that on the list? Why wasn't that put up on the very top of the list? Because from what I understood, a lot of people loved Jedi Survivor. Why wasn't it there? Um, let's see. Metro Prime Remastered. Um, I mean, Hogwarts Legacy. It had a lot of controversy, but a lot of people loved that game too. So why wasn't it put up, right? Um, okay, so that seems to be like uh the list of biggest games uh according to Google. Um, you know, just kind of showing it's like, hey, that it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you know, maybe you should have like uh, you know, a cutoff time or okay, here's something that you should do. Okay, because 2023 isn't done yet, right? You still have a couple more days to go. Okay, what they should have done was they should have done something like that. They should have the game rewards like around March or so, right? And then at the then they can say, okay, instead of here's your game rewards, for 2024, for example, right? They'd be like going back to 2023. Gives the full year, first off. Um, and then they have the full list, like of all the games and so on and so forth. Um, you know, now I don't, you know, then at least then I would have been okay, hey, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, sure, it still came out in 2023, no problem. But I was like on Game of the Year for like 2 months, that kind of thing, right? When it's like, hey, like Jedi Survivors was out, you know, when did Jedi Survivor come out again? What month? Um, April 28th. You know, and from what I understood, a lot of people loved that game. You know, now I haven't played it myself, but a lot of people were like praising it up one side and down the other for its combat, for its um, um, you know, for its graphics, but the Game Awards only gave it for the best performance and best action adventure game nominated. So at least the Golden Joystick Awards gave it a Ultimate Game of the Year nomination. So that's why it's like uh, it's it's really weird to me. Like I see you know reception scores here. Metacritic PC 78, PS5 85, 84, a 9 out of 10, 4 out of 5 stars, 9 out of 10, 35 out of 40, 9.25 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 4.5 stars out of 5, 4 out of 5, 9 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 80 out of 100. It's like, so many high scores here. And it's like, then why wasn't it at like the top of the list? You know, um, But again, I look at current review scores for Super Mario Brothers, and it also has a lot of high praises. 9 out of 9, 9 out of 10s and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Nintendo Life and Nintendo World Report 9 out of 10. Hmm, that's not biased at all. No. So it's one of those things where it's like, God damn it. um, that's the reason why it's like, you know, I look at it and go, um, oh right, Ever Crisis. Um, no wait, that's not it. Didn't Final Fantasy VII, the new expansion came out this year? Hold on. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Oh no, it hasn't come out yet. Okay. I thought it was released. I forgot about that. But I don't know. I just, I don't really take too much stock on those style rewards. Um, it kind of went with the Oscars as well. Um, don't really bother watching the Oscars at all because a lot of it is like, hey, we're gonna reward the films that we saw as artistic, you know, artistic movies, you know, and nothing more. It's like, okay. Uh, However, I've watched some of those movies, and oh my God, it's like, sure, they might be very artistic, but like I watched Million Dollar Baby at one point in time, and I never want to watch it again, ever. You know, um, but you have to understand that I watch movies for the entertainment. You know, so when I see movies that I deemed entertaining, just not even even considered, it's like okay, you know. Um, take take for example. Um, let's see. Um, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Best Picture nomination, didn't win. Best Director nomination, Didn't win. Best Supporting Actor, Ian McKellen. Didn't win. Best Adapted Screenplay. Didn't win. Best Art Direction. Didn't win. Best Cinematography. Oh, that won. Best Costume Design. Didn't win. Best Film Editing. Didn't win. Best Makeup. Oh, that won. Best Original Score. That won. Best Original Song. Didn't win. Best Sound. Didn't win. Best Visual Effects at least won. That's for them Academy Awards there. That was for Fellowship of the Ring. You know. Um, now, no, they didn't. They're not showing the. This wasn't like the exact year of it. Fuck. Okay, let's see. What was it up against though? Beautiful Mind won for Best Picture. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. Beautiful Mind was a very, very good movie. But to say that it was better than Fellowship of the Ring, was it? I don't think so. Um, you know, Gosford Park never seen it, so I don't really know. In the Bedroom, never seen it, so I don't really know. Moulin Rouge, I mean, that was a decent musical, but not the greatest film, not the best picture in my opinion. So, but then again, who knows what other movies out there that that came out that year. So, um, let's look at the Two Towers. You know, um, a lot of people praised it for just the combat scenes alone was just, um, amazing, right? Okay. Just to point out, like it blows my mind sometimes on this, right? Um, the sheer amount of Academy Awards that were given to the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, right? You had 4, 8, 12, 13 nominations for the Academy Awards for the Fellowship of the Ring, right? You know how many nominations for the Two Towers? 6. 6 nominations. So, you know, you had Best Picture, which was nominated for Two Towers but didn't win. Best Art Direction, which was, not which was nominated for Fellowship of the Ring as well, but didn't didn't happen. But no Best Director for the Two Towers. No Best Supporting Actor. No Best Adapted Screenplay. There's the best art direction. No best cinematography for Two Towers. No best costume design for Two Towers. Best film editing? Sure. No best makeup. Best makeup for the Two Towers. Are you kidding me? With all the close-ups that they had for all of the orcs that they showed, and they didn't get nominated for best makeup? Huh? Best original score? Not nominated. Best original song? Not nominated. Best sound? That was nominated at least, but didn't win. Best visual effects? Well, that was nominated and it won. So that was Fellowship's earnings. Um, the they the one and only different nomination that they got in the Academy Awards for the Two Towers was Best Sound Editing, which they also won. So they were nominated for 6, but earned only 2. And it blows my mind. It's like, what do you mean that, you know, um, these, that, some of these, they're not even being nominated for some of this. Um, Peter Jackson wasn't even nominated for Best Director, on that. Um, Best Actor wasn't nominated. No Best Actress. Um, no Best Supporting Actor or Supporting Actress. It's like, you know, adapted screenplay. It's like, where is it? And that's what it's so weird to me about these award shows kind of thing. It's like, um, best cinematography. It wasn't even nominated. You had Road to Perdition, Chicago, Far From Heaven, Gangs of New York, and The Pianist. I don't know. I don't know. It's just there are times where it's like, I look at these award shows and it's like, what are you guys even doing? Kind of thing. It doesn't make that much sense to me sometimes. Okay, that's enough of me ranting. just apparently I'm just on a roll today, just ranting about everything. First is ranting about the economy and lack of jobs, and Um, on one hand, I'd probably say like, hey, let me create my own little award show, and you guys can enjoy everything that I have to say about it. But I don't play I don't play all these games, you know, during the year, so it's not like I can, I can't go, okay, let me, I can't purchase all these games and then try to play them. I don't know. But as it is anyway, you know, probably a really poor judge for some games, for example, right? Um, like, um, you throw out a fighting game, and I'd be crap at it. I'd be like, okay, I don't know how to play this. Graphics look nice. you know, um, be a little off on that one. You know, uh, plus, I wouldn't necessarily be a fan of any like horror games either. Scary games, no problem. Horror games, no. And yes, there is a difference. Anybody that says otherwise are fooling you. you know. So your audio is a bit staticky. Hmm. I hope that's better. I don't know. I guess maybe my mic wasn't in all the way. I hope it's better. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Um, or at least I hope that the audio got fixed. Let me know if it's still staticky or not. Um, but but yeah, um, it's a bit. It would be really difficult for me to judge certain games. Um, back to my uh, pointing out the difference between scary and horror. Okay, now sometimes people like to merge them, scary and horror together into like one very nasty, scary, horrific game. And that's perfectly fine. People can do that. Okay. But here's the thing. As soon as you put horror into it, it's a horror game. you know, as soon as you cross that threshold into horror, it's already a horror game in my opinion, right? Um, but here's the thing. You don't need to have horror to be scary. Okay. Now a lot of people like to do just standard jump scares. Okay, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Those are jump scares. Now there is a certain amount of there is a certain amount of uh dread in that game. Like, it puts you on edge so that, if you're trying to play that, when you're trying to play that game, you're like going, ooh, it's coming for me. Oh no, kind of thing. Or I'm almost running out of power. Oh no, you still have that kind of level of dread. So that enhances the scary factor of it all, right? But there's no horror. Okay, they're not like showing you getting stuffed into the animatronics or anything along those lines. They're not actually showing, hey, all those, your body is just being, crushed into the body and, squeezed and, all the gears and stuff like that are just tearing your body apart or anything like that, right? They're not showing that, okay? So therefore, it doesn't fall into the horror side of things, right? It's not showing that, so that's why I don't put it into that horror category. Okay. Now, if the art direction or if the artists and stuff like that decided to show that part of the game, like, hey, you just died. Now you get to see your body get thrown into one of those animatronic body suits and just crunched and munched and torn asunder and stuff like that. And they actually showed that, then yes, that would step into the horror side of things. Okay, as soon as you start getting into, body mutilation, animal mutilation, whatever. Okay, anything that involves any kind of, you know, like, your skin being torn off your body or something like that, that steps into the horror. You know, zombies eating human flesh. And you actually visually see that or something like that. That's horror. Um, you see, decapitations and like someone's intestines on the ground. That's horror. Um, you know, so um, so as soon as it steps into that, I can't. I don't want to watch any of that. I don't want to see any of that. I don't like. That's. I don't want to even consider watching that kind of crap. That's no, thank you. Not something that I'm interested in seeing or visualizing at all. Okay. Sure, I can talk about it as much as I want to, but I don't really want to see it. Okay, I don't really want to see it in my eyes. I don't really want to. I don't necessarily want to mentally visualize it either. So, um, because it's just, ugh, kind of, it's just yuck. Don't really want to deal with it. Um, you know, so, um, so, you know, I appreciate the like games and stuff like that that don't necessarily focus on it. Sure, it might be horrific to even consider thinking about, right? But um, but they don't really show it. Take for example, um, 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 The Dark Knight, the second movie of the um, um, Dark Knight trilogy. At least I think that was it the Dark Knight trilogy. Um, yeah, there's the Batman Begins, there's the Dark Knight, and the Dark Knight Rises. Okay. Take for example the Dark Knight, where Joker Heath Ledger. There was one scene where he meets mobs for the very first time, and one of the henchmen tries to go over to the Joker and mess with him, right? And the Joker takes the guy's, puts a pen down, takes the guy's head and slams it down into the pen, right? But they don't really show it very much. Like the cut is, it's implied, but you don't necessarily see it. They don't like focus on it, right? So, um, I mean, if they focused on it, if they actually like literally showed the pencil kind of going through the eye and right through the brain or something like that, if they showed like a 3D, viewing of that, then yeah, that would have been horrific. I would have hated that. But um, but they didn't, thankfully. Um, but just imagining that though, ooh, so sends a shiver down my back. Okay. Um, so that was borderline horrific, but not quite there because they didn't actually show that in its entirety. They didn't really like show the after effects of it. They didn't really show um, um, they didn't show the body afterwards. They didn't close in on the face, of that henchman afterwards or anything along those lines, right? They didn't bother with it. Um, so it wasn't necessarily horrific. So games can have a scary element to it without being horrific. Okay, that's my point. So so I have no problem on playing scary games like say Phasmophobia. No problems with that. You know, I have no problem playing games like Phasmophobia. Now I'll still kind of get freaked out and get the uh, go, oh gosh, that was a little scary. Um, but it's a game that I don't mind playing, okay, because they don't go into the horror of it. You know, they don't go into any like horror aspects of that game at all. So I appreciate that. So you know, it's one of the reasons why I probably will never. I tried playing Silent Hill way back in the day, right? And Silent Hill is a very scary game, but it also has an element of horror to it as well. And I couldn't get past the horror. I There were some things that they showed that I really did not enjoy liking to see, so I just stopped playing it. So, granted it was my friend's game, but I kind of quickly said, you know what, I can't play this, so I'm giving it back to you. You know. Um, but I mean, if you like a really scary game and with bits of horror to it. I mean, Silent Hills was typically regarded as one of the best games um, along those lines. Um, but obviously, the graphics are quite dated now, so you'd probably have a little bit of a hard time trying to play Silent Hill right now with its dated graphics. So I'd almost say, you know, maybe wait for them to do a not necessarily remake, but um, what's the wording of that? Remake versus remaster. If they did a remaster, um, you know, not necessarily a remake, but a remaster, where they take the game and they bring it up to into the 2024 graphics. I bet you that you could have it be really, really scary. If they did that. Um, um, so I mean, there's I guess the HD collection, but I don't know how good that was in comparison. and I don't even know if they even did the Silent Hill 1. But like I said, I don't really follow those games that much anyway. So okay, um, that's enough talking. That's enough of me chatting everything up. You know, let's get into something better there, folks. Shall we? I've had a it's been a rough day, so let's get into something fun. So let me go into some Warframe here. So um, and we'll start playing some games. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording for this. I'll put it up onto my my playlist for just life in general. I mean, obviously it's just me kind of ranting and being a little bit mopey, so I apologize for that. So you'll just have to, if you don't have to watch it if you guys don't want to, obviously, um, but I mean, yeah, it'll be there. So, okay, start recording now.